Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm looking at a very interesting deleted scene that was revealed recently in the script from the first episode of the show. It's one in the throne room between Daemon and Viserys after the death of Aemma and his newborn son. Often deleted scenes cover old ground or offer some slight perspectives on the characters, but I thought this one was particularly good. So let's read through the scene, and after it I'll offer some of my thoughts on what additional information we gained from it. King Viserys stands in an empty throne room. His only company, the four giant statues representing the former Targaryen kings. Viserys toys absently with the Valyrian steel dagger he wears on his belt. The hilt is made of dragon bone. Footfalls on the stone, echoing through the cavernous room. Viserys is so lost in contemplation that he doesn't seem to hear their approach. Daemon says, "Brother?" Prince Daemon's arrival finally pulls the king's attention. Daemon throws his arms around his brother. The men hold the embrace for a long beat. There is real love here. But Viserys winces, his hidden wound hurting him. The king quickly withdraws from his brother, who notes this. Daemon says, "How are you?" Viserys looks 100 years old. All the life and passion that Viserys once had now seems to have been taken from him, along with Aemma and Balon. He does not answer Daemon directly. King Viserys says, "Do you believe the gods have a design?" Daemon says, "No, I don't think they give a wet shit about us." Viserys says, "As Targaryens, we're thought to be closer to gods than to men, that we were prepared from the doom for some higher purpose." Daemon searches Viserys, frustrated by his indirectness. Daemon says, "We got lucky. There's no shame in it." Viserys, "It wasn't luck. It was a girl's dreams. Dany saw what was to come and saved us from it." Daemon, "That made for a good story, but Dany's dreams didn't make us kings. Aegon's dragons did, on the field of fire." Viserys, "There were 1,000 dragons in old Valyria, so what put House Targaryen on the Iron Throne, dragons or dreams?" Daemon, "Aegon was no dreamer. He was a conqueror, with a great sword of Valyrian steel and the most fearsome dragon that ever lived." Viserys, "Aegon wrote his own history. The truth was something else." Daemon laughs, chiding at the portentousness of the claim. Recovering, he inquires, "And what was that?" Viserys takes a long pause. He looks at Daemon, considering whether to tell him some secret truth, but he says nothing in the end. Daemon says, "The Targaryen history is written in fire and blood, Viserys. Though some of us might wish to forget that, we cannot deny our nature." Viserys sighs, let down by where this is going. He looks up at the statue of King Jaehaerys, where it looms over them. Viserys says, "King Jaehaerys moved us beyond that, with 5 decades of peace and progress, and then the vote at the Great Council. And now I am meant somehow to do even better." Daemon says, "Better? I have nothing but respect for Grandsire and all he accomplished, but Harrenhal was a farce." Daemon indicates the Iron Throne, where it is slashed in both light and shadow. Daemon says, "Councils don't make kings, kings make kings." Viserys, "The Great Council worked out well for you, my prince." Daemon, "Not as well as it did for you, your grace." Viserys laughs, showing a flash of his old self. Viserys says, "I sometimes find myself wishing I could go back to that day and pass it all to Rhaenys, to be just another Targaryen prince." Daemon twists at the insult, thinking, "Just another prince, like me." Viserys says, "To be able to hunt and read and enjoy life's simpler pleasures." Daemon, "Give it up then. We're both in our best years, but they're being wasted at court." Viserys, "You think I should abdicate the throne?" Daemon, "Leave those burdens to your council. You were the last Targaryen to ride the Black Dread. Claim Vhagar. We could fly to conquest together." Viserys says, "And who would we conquer?" Daemon, "Anyone we wish. We can do as Aegon did, write our own history in fire and blood." When Viserys looks into his brother's soul, he sees unbridled ambition. The king sighs, his voice softening. He glances up at the statue of Jaehaerys, his great predecessor. Viserys says, "The dragons are gods made flesh. If we treat them as tools for our gain, they will deliver our end." Daemon, "You are wrong, brother. It's said that Valyrians created the dragons. If dragons are gods, what does that make you and I?" Viserys stares at Daemon with a sense of looming dread. And at that moment, the scene concludes. What stands out most to me is Viserys' desire to leave the burdens of the throne behind and lead a quiet life. A while back, I did a video on Viserys and brought up this exact point, that he really didn't want to rule. And although he never fully stated it on the show, it shows again what an incredible job Paddy Considine did in his portrayal of Viserys. He showed us rather than telling us directly. Viserys laments about how he wished he could do more simple things like reading and hunting, and then Daemon actually encourages him, if not to abdicate, at least leave King's Landing behind. But Daemon's idea of a good life is much different than his brother's. He wants Viserys to claim Vhagar, and the two could go fly out to conquer. Viserys, of course, is disappointed by all of this, and while I think that the Daemon we see at the end of the show is more mature after his battles in the Stepstones and the loss of Laena and his brother, the fire for battle is still there. Viserys considers telling Daemon about Aegon's prophecy, but he doesn't feel as if his brother would be receptive to it. Daemon even laughed when Viserys said that Aegon wrote his own history and that there were truths there. So he stopped short of revealing it to Daemon, who just sees Aegon as a man who achieved greatness because he was powerful and rode the most fearsome dragon that Westeros had ever seen. I really hope they release this scene one day. I think it adds something to the story and a bit more depth to the characters, even if some of the revelations were provided in a bit more subtle fashion by the actors during the series. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and if you're interested in more House of the Dragon and A Song of Ice and Fire, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.